Hey guys, how are you? This is Mr. Argueta back for week number 2. So, wanted to give you guys an update in regards to how week 1 went, let you know what week 2 looks like, and basically give you a sort of a peek view of week number 3. So, you get the hang of it. Essentially, what we're doing here is we're going to knock out 2 chapters per week. There's 3 things you do in each chapter, which is the smart book, homework, and the quizzes. Don't forget, the quiz questions I will use to make up your midterm and your final. I don't care how you keep that in your mind. I pray that you learn that information, but you might want to create a study guide with that. Every semester, one of my students say, Mr. Argueta, do you have a study guide for your midterm and your final? I am giving it to you every week. So make sure you find a way to be organized enough to keep those questions around. That being said, well done. Everyone did the syllabus quiz with the exception of a few people. Don't know the situation why, but today is the drop date. I will drop whoever did not complete their syllabus quiz. But for the most part, 98% of you have completed that. I will zero out the assignments you did not complete, and I am reading through all your discussions. Good stuff. We got a great crew, got a great class. I appreciate you guys participating. I see your comments. I read every post. I read your comments back to me. I'm glad that you enjoyed the video. I think it's just an easy way for us to connect. And this is an easy way for me to connect with you, let you know what my world looks like, and I get a peek of your world. And that's what it's all about for me. As we'll go along, we'll see some stuff, but I am considered an extroverted person. I like to talk to people. I like to get to know people. I think that's a great benefit I have in my character in regards to what I do, not only now, but as a business owner in the past, entrepreneur, mentor, pastor, all the different roles I've played in my life. I think that my personality and my character really attributed to those thankfully successes. So I enjoy talking to you. I enjoy when you email me. I enjoy when you reach out to me. I love to make those connections with people, and I love to help people succeed in their journey. So don't think of me just as your professor in this class. I hope that we develop a relationship where I can be an asset to you. You know, there was a lot of people in my life who took time and energy and gave me advice that really helped me throughout life. And I hope that I could become that to some people. Okay, that being said, well done. I appreciate week 1. Week 1's over. As I've mentioned before, I do not accept late assignments. The only thing I will allow you to do is if you did not complete your discussion, you can go ahead and do that. But I don't open up late assignments in McGraw-Hill. As we go through this semester, I'll explain to you why. And I promise you, I will be fair. I'm not trying to fail you. I promise that I'm not. I was in your shoes. I've went through college. Listen, guys, I came from an impoverished background. I didn't have these privileges that I have today. I had to pay for college. I had to pay for my wife to go to school. And she went to school and got her bachelor's while I worked. And then we were going to switch roles. That didn't happen. But thankfully, we were able to send me to school after I took some time off of work. And I'm where I'm at because I paid a price. So I get it. You're paying the price. So I don't want to fail you. That's not my intention. But I also believe in being fair. And being fair across the board, being fair to everyone in this class, no matter the circumstance or situation. I believe that that's the best way to treat everyone, is to just to give you a fair shot. I'm not expecting you guys to be, I don't know what word I'm trying to use, but I just believe in giving everyone a fair shot across the board, not treating anyone differently in any way because of any circumstances. All right. That being said, this week I love this discussion because it really opens up the eyes of a lot of people who might have not viewed the world this way. First, chapter 3, we're going to be talking about the elements of an organizational macro environment. So think of macro as big, the big picture of a business, okay? And the organizational's competitive environment. So a business does not live in a closed system. Closed system meaning it could self-rely. It doesn't need outside elements to help it succeed. We live in an open environment, and we live in an environment in business that needs our external factors. Things on the outside help us succeed. Listen, you can have the best business in the world, the best idea in the world, but if the environment in which you establish your business does not support that idea, you won't be successful, even though your idea is amazing. I see this all the time in business, and this is why I believe that my first business failed. I had a great idea, had a wonderful idea, but the environment in which I was in did not support that idea. Now, let me give you a very simple example. And we'll see this later on next week. We'll do a SWOT analysis. Analysis are tools which we use to analyze our environment. There's hundreds of them. You can look them up, Google them, like analysis tools in business. There's a PASTEL, where you look at the political and the environmental. You look at all these different environments and how they impact your business. So let's use this simple example. And I apologize. I have a cough drop. I've been dealing with allergies and, it dries up my throat. So please don't think I'm being rude. Let's look at this example. If I wanted to start a business in Dalton, and I studied the environment in which Dalton is, and I look at Dalton, and Dalton is one of those cities that's considered a minority majority, which means more than 50% of the population of Dalton is minority driven. There's nothing good or bad about that. It's just what it is. It's a statistic. All right. So I'm looking at that environment and I'm saying, well, what can I do to capitalize on that? Well, if I open up a Mexican restaurant, there's a high likelihood that I'll succeed, right? So then I look at my competitive environment. Who's around me that has similar or possibly the same product? So obviously I'm making tacos. There's hundreds of taco shops. Why is my taco shop gonna stand out? What do I have to offer this environment that's any different than all the other taco shops? And that's where you start developing an actual business that makes sense. Not just, crapshoot. Let's see what I get. No. Putting some science behind your business. Who is my customer? Who am I targeting, right? There's a shop in Dalton called Tacos to TU Go. Tacos to Go. Amazing flavor. Amazing. Probably by far one of the best tacos that I've ever eaten. But it's a hole in the wall. It's literally a hole in the wall. And you're not going to get the right customer unless they're daring and want to go. I want to say that the people that own it, they're not from this area. They have a different flavor to it. It actually has a northern taco flavor, like from Chicago. I'm not saying they're from Chicago, but I'm assuming that they got that taste from a unique place. It's not like going to El Nopal or Las Palmas. That's catered to a certain demographics. It's catered to a certain group of people. So when you get a chance, look around you, the businesses that are around you. So another thing you could look at is like, we have a lot of dollar stores here. Why? Have you asked why we have a lot of dollar stores in this area? Or the question better asked is, why doesn't Target open up here in Dalton? Why doesn't it have a Target in Rome, in Calhoun? And the reason why is because the environment will not support a Target. In other words, they ran a study and they said the average family in Dalton, Calhoun, Rome make X amount of dollars per year. That's available to you. Like the average family in those areas only make a certain amount. I'm going to assume between $40,000 and $50,000 a year. Well, that being said, and the population is X amount of people. They run calculations and they say, if we put a Target here, it's not going to be successful. But Walmart's numbers are lower. The family income has to be lower. The population has to be lower. And they know that they'll capture that audience. So that being said, let's move on to chapter 4. Chapter 4 is one of my favorite chapters because it deals with ethical perspectives. In other words, how you make a decision. And we're not talking about right or wrong here. We're talking about the process in which you take, the ethical mindset in which you have to make that decision. There's several, when you read pages 74 and 76, you'll see through some, and also pages 82 and 84, you'll see through some processes of how people make decisions. There's different ethical perspectives. So I'm going to give you a scenario. I think it's called the trolley challenge. And you're going to tell me why you make this decision. So you're a conductor of a train and you're going straight and you lose functions of brakes, right? You have no other option but the two I'm going to give you. I know people are going to have a hard time with this. That's because of your ethics. And you can make the train go right or you can make the train go left. It's probably opposite to you, but this is my right now. This is my left. So you're going to make your train go one way or another. If you go right, you see 10 people on the track. They're adults. You kill 10 people. And if you look left, there's one child. Or you killed one child. What direction would you choose? And that starts guiding you to why you made that decision. I'm not going to put any thoughts in your head as to what I would do or to what my ethical perspective is. But then there's other ethical perspectives that you'll learn about. Universalism, egoism, utilitarianism. So a lot of people say, oh no, I do what's right all the time. I never do what's wrong. I do what's right all the time. And then I'll ask a question like, if your family was starving in your environment, would you break the law to feed them? And a lot of people say, absolutely. To feed my family, I'll break the law. Would you steal bread to feed your family if there was no other option? Yes, I will do that. Well, this is how some people make that decision to leave their country, break the law to come into another country, to embetter, to give their family an opportunity. Now, I'm not saying it's right. This isn't about right or wrong. This is about how you came to that conclusion. I'll be first to admit, I am a son of 2 immigrants that came to this country illegally. Now, they've arranged and had the opportunity to become American citizens through the process. But when they first came to this country, I wasn't born yet. I was the first born American in my family. And my parents, the reality is they came here illegally with my 2 sisters, very young. I could understand. I would like to say I wouldn't break a law, but if it had something to do with my children or my wife, you know I'm going to break the law because I'm going to protect them at all cost. I'm going to do whatever it takes to help them. So I don't want you to take the mindset of that's wrong or that's right. Just want you to understand how you make your decision. And I want you to talk about that. Select your ethical perspective. Now, let me be honest with you. No one that I've ever met has only one particular ethical perspective. A lot of people use multiple ones. There's one called deontological perspective, which is Dio, which comes from the word Dios or Dio in Latin, which means God in the Latin form. And it's that you feel that there's a higher power dictating the decisions we make, and we only make those decisions based upon that. So just to alleviate some of us and understanding that process, like many times we'll make our decisions based on that, but there's times where we'll lean. I'll give you an example. People who follow the deontological perspective say lying is bad. And what do you think? Is lying bad? And I'll talk about that next week to conclude this conversation, but I want you to ponder on that. Is there ever a time where lying is okay? And I want you to think about that for a second and write the discussion, write it in your discussion. So I'm excited to read your stuff, guys. I really appreciate you. It's a beautiful day today in New York. It's nice. This Airbnb I've been renting. I'm going to try to get out because I've been home all this weekend. I haven't gone anywhere, just kind of bumming around the house here. But I want to get out and just kind of walk around and do some sort of exercising by walking. But I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope you guys are having a great week and you're enjoying the class. And I appreciate the comments on the video. So guys, until next week, I appreciate you. Appreciate your work. Keep going. You got this. All right. We'll see you next time.